was actually protesting and holding marches demanding justice. And one of the things that came out strongly at the weekend also was that Kwekwe is not the only child that has been a victim of rape in this particular town. And of course, today we saw one of the men on one of the three cases, we're told, appearing in court. He was making his second court appearance, Xoli, and he was attempting also to apply for bail. Details about him is that we know he's 31 years old. He is a father of 4 children. He stays in Maluti, and he had been employed at the school where he was working at since 2024. In January, he worked as a caretaker, and we're told that this incident involving this 6-year-old boy occurred on the 18th of October, also at the private school. We're told that it was the grandmother of this child who noticed that the child was walking with difficulty. She only noticed that this Xoli on the 28th of October and alerted authorities. And few months later, in fact, an investigation shortly after this was brought to authorities, it was investigated. And in December, that's when this guy was essentially arrested. In fact, on the 6th of December, he was arrested. Well, he appeared in court and he did say, Xoli, that he will plead not guilty to the charge, saying that, in fact, on the day in question, he was on leave. We're told that this incident occurred on the 18th of October, but he said on the 15th until the 21st of October, he was on leave. But here's what's interesting, Xoli, in this particular case. The young boy had actually named the suspect as the person who had actually violated him. We're also told that medical records show that indeed this young man was violated. And in fact, that this may also not be the first time that he was violated. We're told that, in fact, in September last year, that's when the first violation could have happened, and that what happened on the 18th of October is actually the second time this young man was violated. This is what the state, Xoli, has pointed out, that it will oppose bail and that it will use also, Xoli, some of the petitions that have been handed to the court by local residents that are saying that they don't want this man to appear in court as the grounds that this man should also not be granted bail. And also, Xoli, the fact that this man knows the victim very well, that's also one of the things that the state will saying that they'll push forward, that this man must also not be granted bail. It comes, Xoli, you're right, at the time when there's a sharp focus on this particular town, especially when it comes to attacks on women and children. And this entire last week, Xoli, this place has just been a hive of activity with people holding marches and picketing against this scourge in this particular town. And we know, Xoli, tomorrow we're expecting a complete shutdown of this town, as people will be taking to the streets, marching, saying that they're tired of this violence on women and children. Also, Xoli, at the weekend, we saw activists calling on President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that there's a need for a presidential working group to be set up by the president to deal with the issues of attack on women and children, specifically here in Maluti and surrounding areas. They say that will then show that government is serious about the fight on gender-based violence.